President Trump is an America First principles. He was asked about endorsing President Trump yesterday.
Good evening, everybody. The longest-serving Senate leader in American history is stepping down, and there are cheers across the land. The 82-year-old Mitch McConnell, poorly regarded by conservatives and most Republicans, will end his leadership in November. McConnell suffered health problems throughout the last couple of years and family concerns now. McConnell most recently pushing a disastrous border bill. It might as well have been written by the Biden White House. It was dismissed by President Trump as political suicide for the Republican Party, and that killed the Senate legislation. There are no obvious successors to McConnell. John Thune is number 2 and undistinguished as such, and he endorsed President Trump only a few days ago. McConnell still hasn't endorsed him, and neither is Joni Ernst. McConnell has been anti-Trump throughout, a rhino throughout, far too often fighting President Trump's America First policies and obliging the Marxist Dems and the Biden White House far too often. I expect President Trump to insist on a Senate leader who is America First as he unites the Republicans and indeed the nation over the coming months. Quite a day for the Biden family. President Biden in Walter Reed Hospital for his annual physical. No results yet, but we know there won't be any results at all from either a neurological exam or cognitive test. Biden's doctor, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, telling the media that he would not advise President Biden to take either the neurological or cognitive test. He didn't say why. Walter Reed, by the way, is about 21 miles by car to Capitol Hill, where his son Hunter was also undergoing a very different kind of examination, answering questions in the joint hearing of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. We'll have more on Hunter's bad day, and I'll be talking with Judiciary Committee member Congressman Tom Tiffany about his impressions of Hunter, his answers to critical questions. But first, President Donald Trump declaring a 7th straight primary election victory. President Trump not only beat Nikki Haley in Michigan by the predicted landslide, he crushed her. Former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin, by the way, went on CNN last night to point out that President Trump received more votes in Michigan than all of the Democrat primary votes combined. Please listen.
You know, there's a big enthusiasm gap. If you look right now, there's 26, 27% of the vote in between the Democratic turnout, the Republican turnout. The Republican turnout is right now far trouncing the Democratic turnout. And that's the percentage of the total vote that we're waiting to come in. It'll be interesting to see what comes in from Wayne County. Yes, I get that. But President Trump's number at the moment is actually more than all of the Democratic Party primary voters together. So I would say that President Trump, when looking at the amount of people who are coming out to vote for him tonight, would be very encouraged by the amount of votes that he is getting compared to all the Democrats who have shown up.
And apparently the left-wingers at CNN had enough of Lee Zeldin and cut him off. I can't imagine why, can you? Well, Nikki Haley was able to only pull 26% of the vote. And it's no surprise that the majority of her support comes from Democrats and her money. A group of Democrats called Primary Pivot Super PAC went so far as to rally support for Nikki Haley, encouraging other Democrats to vote in the Republican primary as part of their strategy to, of course, resist President Trump. It's not working too well, is it? Meanwhile, the Marxist Dems are desperate for votes, and it shows. They're now resorting to third world get-out-the-vote tactics. Kamala Harris announcing college students can now get paid with taxpayer money to register Democrat voters ahead of 2024.
We have been doing work to promote voter participation for students. And for example, we have, under the Federal Work Study program, now allows students to get paid through federal work study to register people and to be nonpartisan poll workers.
I don't think she could even keep a straight face as she started talking about paying those students to get out the vote. Very patriotic. I thought that they're spending federal taxpayer dollars to give students money to get the vote out for Democrats. They're really going after the student vote, aren't they? That you combine this new pay for vote scheme of the Biden administration to the forgiveness of all that student loan debt. I think they're going to have a landslide there in the student body if indeed they don't wise up. Well, turning now to Hunter Biden's much-awaited deposition before the Judiciary and Oversight Committees. He appeared on the Hill this morning, the joint hearing behind closed doors. Hunter was quick to defend himself and his father in his opening remarks. Hunter claims he did not involve Joe Biden in any of his business dealings. Of course, everyone knows that that's a lie, so why pretend? Why do that? So what will Republicans do about it? Well, we're going to find out. Our guest is Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, and he joins us now. Congressman, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us here on the show. Let me ask you first. What was your impression of today's hearing?
You know, it's about as I expected, Lou, and he was combative at times. He was defensive. But the thing that I found interesting is that he had perfect cognition in regards to remembering that his father was never involved with his businesses. But then when you'd ask him other stuff, I just can't remember. And he would play the card in regards to his addiction. He said, many of you don't know what it's like to have been addicted. There was times that I was debilitated. I didn't know what I was doing. But he perfectly knew that his father was not involved in any way, shape, or form. I thought there were big time inconsistencies there. The other thing that I'd say, Lou, is to a certain extent, I feel for Hunter Biden. To have a family treat him the way they did and not understand what they were putting him through, I mean, it really borders on abuse, in my opinion. And Hunter Biden was just a tool for Joe Biden. And that's ultimately what we're getting at here, is that while Hunter Biden did all these things to enrich the family, it was all about the big guy.
Right. Well, as you talk about the big guy and Hunter Biden and what the family put him through, it's a collision, isn't it, in the family? Obviously being used by Joe and James Biden for their own purposes, their own gain. You all have already demonstrated that in both the Judiciary and the House Oversight Committees. But to see this man who has been an addict apparently throughout most of his adult life, what he has done, it's just to his family is tragic as well. But that always is the case in instances of addiction like this. What is unique is a laptop that was in point of fact chronicles not only all of the graft that the Biden family was running in their influence peddling scheme, but it was evidence. It was extraordinary, an extraordinary gift to the American public, because without that laptop, we would know none of what we know today. Do you think that's a fair statement?
For sure. And it was interesting, and I'm glad you bring that up, Lou, because Hunter and his attorney were largely in denial about the laptop. I mean, they were denying the validity of the contents that were on that laptop. They were referencing that there's a lawsuit in regards to it. I mean, they're in full-on denial. And I think the reason for it is Hunter is covering for his father. He's trying to make sure that this does not come back to his father, because he understands the American people are more and more, they're seeing what is going on here. But if it comes out full blown, what most of us suspect, then Joe Biden can no longer be the president of the United States of America.
And that really is the issue, as Chairman James Comer, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, said from the very beginning. Yes, we are investigating the family, but this is the investigation of the President of the United States. Do you believe that today's hearing advanced that cause?
We'll see. I think the big thing is that there were a number of questions that were asked of Hunter Biden that we're going to go back and corroborate statements by other people who were in the Biden circle. And if those don't square with what he said, then there's going to be a lot more explaining to do. And that's what we've done consistently over the last year, Lou. I hear from my constituents all the time, why don't you guys pull the trigger on this impeachment? It's very clear what happened. But I really appreciate that we've been steady and methodical about this, and that process continues yet today. We're not going to do ready, fire, aim like Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi do. We're going to do this in the correct manner. Person's innocent until proven guilty. Well, I'll tell you what, the circumstantial evidence gets stronger and stronger every time we're out there. $40,000 and $200,000 checks that went directly to Joe Biden. You've got the 20 shell companies that were created, over 150 suspicious transactions as identified by the banks, not us, by banks. I mean, you have all this evidence that is out there, and I just think it's all closing in on the Biden family as we continue to pursue this.
Congressman, we appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate that you and the members of both committees are doing in the interest of the nation. Thank you so much, Congressman Tom Tiffany. Coming up here next, the tragic death of Laken Riley, highlighting what is a national rampant crime wave and crimes created by illegal aliens. More on that coming up here next. Also, author Peter Schweizer exposes the Biden family's corruption, their ties to China, in his new book, Blood Money. That's straight ahead. Stay with us.
As an American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose, and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold today at 866-738-2918 for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a good fit for you. Call now at 866-738-2918 or visit goldwithjoe.com.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
There's a concerted effort to intimidate and censor conservative thinkers. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are being threatened by the most liberal progressives America has ever seen. It seems like everything they do is to the detriment of our great nation. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the left. Join AMAC. AMAC is a voice for conservatives that cannot be ignored. Stand with over 2 million America-loving patriots by joining AMAC today.
As an American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold today at 866-738-2918 for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a good fit for you. Call now at 866-738-2918 or visit goldwithjoe.com.
Welcome back. The latest Monmouth University poll shows that more than 8 in 10 Americans see illegal immigration as a serious problem. Public concern is higher today than it was under the previous 2 administrations. And why is that? Democrats seem absolutely baffled by that sentiment. Let's go through some recent headlines that just might, well, explain part of that, much of it, if not all of it. Perhaps educate those who can't comprehend why Americans are sick to their stomachs with open borders and rising crime rates. So many criminals have come to the United States from Venezuela, for example, that Venezuela has actually had its violent death rates there plummet by 22%. The third world is sending us the contents of its cell blocks. And what does that look like in practice? Well, many Americans unfortunately know. Most of you have likely heard about Laken Riley by now, a beautiful 22-year-old nursing student who was killed by an illegal immigrant from Venezuela named Jose Antonio Ibarra. Some people made this video in memoriam. Please watch it. See how full of joy she was before her life was snuffed out forever.
Steady on down the line, lose every sense of time. Take it all in and wake up that small part of me. Day to day, I'm blind to see and find how far to go. Everybody got the reason, everybody got the way. We're just catching and releasing what builds up throughout the day. It gets into.
Riley was jogging on the University of Georgia campus when Ibarra abducted her. Ibarra reportedly beat her so badly that he left her skull disfigured, like a savage animal would. He comes from a family of animals. Ibarra's brother, Diego, charged with green card fraud and has been arrested 4 times since he arrived in Georgia. But we're only getting started. Another illegal alien from Venezuela has just been charged with raping a teenage girl in Virginia. The alleged culprit, Renzo Mendoza Montes, was detained and released at the border 5 months ago. Released at the border 5 months ago by Customs and Border Patrol. He is now facing 2 felonies for sexually assaulting an underage child. In Maryland, an illegal immigrant from El Salvador charged with murdering a 2-year-old boy. The child was caught in the crossfire of a shootout while he was at the park with his mother. The alleged killer, Nilson Granados Trejo, had been arrested twice on theft charges and was facing deportation. He evaded removal after being released by the Montgomery County Police Department last October, despite 3 requests from Immigration and Customs Enforcement to hold him in custody. On top of all of this bestial brutality, these crimes, you will notice a pattern here. Every suspect slipped through the hands of immigration authorities at least once, at the border, and often at the border and the interior. And even Jose Ibarra, Riley's killer, was previously arrested and charged with endangering a child, but he was released from custody before immigration officials could file a detainer. Or put another way, they released him before immigration could file that detainer. At the time he mauled Riley, Ibarra was wanted on a warrant for skipping a court appearance related to shoplifting. It's natural to want to call our immigration system broken, but when all of this is happening, the criminals are allowed to not only come to this country illegally, but are consistently let slip beyond the reach of the law. But when this keeps happening, when criminals are allowed to not only come to the country illegally, but consistently allowed to slip beyond the reach of the law, the system is not broken. It's working exactly as proposed and ordered by this White House. And we're joined now by the former chief of the U.S. Border Patrol, Rodney Scott, and it's terrific to have you with us. We have got so much going on at the border. 2 presidents on the border at the same time. Want to get your thoughts, first of all, about the contrast between the 2 leaders, and go from there. Your thoughts about first President Biden.
Yeah, thank you for having me on tonight, Lou. It is funny that you have 2 presidents with completely diametrical views on the border visiting at the same time. Most Americans don't know, but the chief of the Border Patrol, his office is at 1400 Pennsylvania Avenue. So at any point in time, the president can get a briefing on what's going on the border and get updated. President Trump had Border Patrol officials and DHS officials in the White House on a weekly basis reporting things out. All of that ended under Biden. Biden does not ask about what's going on the border, from my understanding. When I was chief under Biden, he would not meet with me a single time. And this really seems like a photo op, because I would rather see him in his office signing executive orders to fix the border, because that's how he destroyed it. But he's going down to Texas for a photo op, while, by the way, his same Department of Justice is suing the state of Texas to try to open the border back up, because the governor down there has really kind of locked things down.
Isn't that amazing that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, is suing the state of Texas because Governor Greg Abbott is trying to stop an invasion? This administration has everything upside down. They lie, they cheat, they steal, and they're in power. And what they're doing is categorically demonic. We're watching horrible, horrible stories about the deaths and the rapes and assaults of Americans all over this country at the hands of vicious illegal aliens who crossed that border from Venezuela, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico. It goes on, and it has contributed to the greatest rise in crime rates in many of these democratic sanctuary cities in their history.
I could not agree more. And I think another piece of this, the Laken Riley's death, it was horrific and it brings attention. But I think what people miss too is that the cartel uses this massive amount of illegal immigration above and beyond the individual criminals, just the chaos of all these people coming across the border. The cartels use that to mask the smuggling of other criminal aliens and tons and tons of deadly narcotics, to include fentanyl. And fentanyl is killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. That's not from the U.S. That's all coming across this border. But these are topics this administration refuses to even talk about or address.
It refuses to talk about, address, or prosecute, or arrest We are watching time and time again catch and release restored by this administration. It's led to the deaths of so many innocent American citizens at the hands of these people who are coming into this country illegally. Every one of those murders, every one of those assaults and rapes is on the head of Alejandro Mayorkas and Joe Biden. And make no mistake, the American people know that, and they are going to hold them accountable in November, because nothing else will change unless we change directions from this Marxist dim hell that we're in this country. And it starts with the border that is no longer ours. It belongs, Ronnie, it belongs to the Mexican drug cartels. There's no other way to look at it. Sex trafficking, just raging. Drugs, deadly drugs. You mentioned fentanyl. Our citizens are collateral damage in all of this. Whether they're overdosing, whether they're being murdered, all of the violent crimes being now perpetrated by those illegal aliens against American citizens. And there seems to be no interest whatsoever on the part of anyone in the Marxist Dem Party, the Democrat Party led by Marxist Dems, no interest at all in stopping it. And to hear the lies of Mayorkas saying the border is secure, on down the line, all of them, chirping their lies as if they were, they had no conscience whatsoever. Your thoughts?
Not only do they not want to stop it, I just remind everybody, people act like this is political, but back up to when the campaign was running for office. This is intentional. They don't want to stop it because they intentionally created it. They've said it flat out. They wanted to create ways to allow more people to get into the country quicker, and that is what they've done the entire time, at the expense of everything you just stated, the American safety. The Mexican cartel today gets to pick and choose who comes into the country because they can easily overwhelm all the law enforcement at the border. And again, I think another place where the Dems actually win the dialogue, if you will, is they've really taken this compassionate argument and they've hijacked it, because they've taken away any differentiation between legal immigration and illegal immigration. And they've convinced people that if you're against illegal immigration, you're against immigration in general and you're against brown people. Well, that is not true. The U.S. Border Patrol is catching people from 160 different nations pouring across that border, and they're missing countless tons of narcotics because of this chaos. All we want is people come through our front door, follow the laws, and stop cutting in line in front of legal immigrants. This has nothing to do with immigration in general. It's against crime and criminality. And we need to secure our border or we're going to lose our country. We're already headed that direction.
Rodney Scott, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you. Coming up here next, are Biden's business ties to China the reason that he is being very quiet on the fentanyl crisis? That's what Peter Schweitzer argues in his brand new book, Blood Money. He joins us here next to talk about that book and the Bidens. More when we continue.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with a nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
There's a concerted effort to intimidate and censor conservative thinkers. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are being threatened by the most liberal progressives America has ever seen. It seems like everything they do is to the detriment of our great nation. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the left. Join AMAC. AMAC is a voice for conservatives that cannot be ignored. Stand with over 2 million America-loving patriots by joining AMAC today.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
And welcome back. Over the past few decades, leaders of both Republican and Democrat parties have overseen the decline of the American empire. They've siphoned off our country, our resources, our people to the highest bidder, the Chinese Communist Party. What exists in Washington today is nothing more than a facade. Yes, our politicians do make decisions, but it's the communists in Beijing who are pulling the strings, calling the shots. And thanks to Peter Schweitzer and his investigative reporting in his new book, we're beginning to see the shocking extent to which China owns our government. His #1 best-selling book is called Blood Money: Why the Powerful Turn a Blind Eye While China Kills Americans. And chief among those turning a blind eye is President Joe Biden. Schweitzer notes how when Biden was a senator, he directly called out Beijing for its involvement in the heroin trade. But as president, he's been silent on the same government's role in producing fentanyl. Why is that? Well, maybe it's the fact that Joe Biden is owned by China. Quote, members of the First Family received some $31 million in deals from a small group of Chinese businessmen with deep ties to the highest levels of Chinese intelligence. And some quote like this: they have ties to the fentanyl trade. It's clear Biden doesn't want to confront China on fentanyl because of his family's, well, their relationships, and their money, the Chinese money. And here to explain more is Peter Schweizer himself. Again, the book is entitled Blood Money, While the Powerful Turn a Blind Eye While China Kills Us. Peter Schweizer has another #1 bestseller. His investigative reporting in his new book, it's startling to see the shocking extent to which China owns our government. The book is entitled Blood Money, and the author of that book, Peter Schweizer, is with us now. Peter, great to have you with us.
Great to be with you as always, Lou. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations on, again, another just extraordinary piece of work, investigative reporting, and bringing to our attention all that we maybe suspected in various places, but certainly never had seen with evidence. Let's start with, if you will, the degree to which you assess the Biden family is compromised by Communist China.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, we've talked before, and I was the first to report on the flow of money from China to the Biden family, some $30 million. But in blood money, I disclosed that it's actually even worse than just money from Communist China. It's from elements in Communist China that are involved with criminal activity. The guy that set up the Sinaloa cartel and the fentanyl trade, which is plaguing America today, is a guy named White Wolf. His gang UBG created that problem. White Wolf has a business partner who gave the Bidens a $5 million quote unquote loan, which they never repaid. So Joe Biden doesn't want to have a conversation about fentanyl. He doesn't want to have a conversation about China. And that's part of the problem. When you have leaders that are avoiding certain subjects because of money that people gave them, that's when you get the kind of leadership that we have today.
And this is, to me at least, it's extraordinary to think that all of the reporting that you have done makes the case against Communist China. And in this book, you take it to the degree to which the triads are in league with the Communist Party itself. That is, in terms of the fentanyl trade, whatever it may be, this is an alliance that not many saw even possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at President Xi, he's got family members that are linked to organized crime. His most important posting before he became the head of the Chinese Communist Party was as the political leader in Fujian province. Fujian province is the heartbeat of Chinese organized crime syndicates, the so-called triads. He was friends with them. He protected them. And he's essentially made an alliance with them. As long as they are loyal to the CCP, they don't challenge their political authority, and as long as they don't engage in criminal activity in China, they have carte blanche to do whatever they want in the Western world, and he provides political protection. And he does this because the chaos that they sow benefits the CCP. So it is an ugly marriage, but a very powerful and hurtful marriage to the West.
And the United States is tolerating this. The United States is not responding to the collateral damage of more than 100,000 Americans from opiates and fentanyl itself. And you know there has to be at least another 100,000 Americans dying of other drugs and through overdose. Give us a sense as to what you believe should be the consequence for China from all that you have revealed in this book. It's absolutely stupefying to think that this government has not insisted upon a retaliation for all the damage that they've done, all the deaths they've caused.
Yeah, Lou, you cannot have a normal relationship with a country that is effectively waging war on you and killing your civilians, whether that's fentanyl, whether that's the gun-related technologies that are wreaking havoc on our streets that they're smuggling into the country, whether it's COVID. So we have to stop having a normal relationship with them. I'm not talking about a kinetic war, but we need to reshore back to the United States. We need to say we are not going to engage in a free trade regime agreement with you as long as this is happening. And by the way, we are going to bring this up publicly and we are going to put it in your face That is what the Chinese would certainly be doing if we were doing it to them, and we should expect no less from our own leaders.
And the reason the Bidens haven't done that is?
Because they're compromised. These financial entanglements make it very embarrassing for them to have this conversation.
Peter Schweitzer, the book is Blood Money. And Peter, thanks, my friend, and congratulations again on a blockbuster in the national interest. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lou. Appreciate you having me.
And Peter Schweitzer's new book is Blood Money. And as I said to Peter, it truly is a book that is not only a #1 bestseller, it is also a book written in the national interest, and every American should buy that book. We recommend it to you highly. And coming up here next will be our friend Mark Simone. Stay with us. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
As an American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose, and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold today at 866-738-2918 for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a good fit for you. Call now at 866-738-2918 or visit goldwithjoe.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
There's a concerted effort to intimidate and censor conservative thinkers. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are being threatened by the most liberal progressives America has ever seen. It seems like everything they do is to the detriment of our great nation. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the left. Join AMAC. AMAC is a voice for conservatives that cannot be ignored. Stand with over 2 million America-loving patriots by joining AMAC today.
Welcome back. The Republican leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, has announced he's stepping down from leadership in November. McConnell, who's the longest-serving Republican senator, will make way for new leadership in the party after the next election cycle. Better late than never, they say. Sooner might be better, but we'll go with what they say. Let's bring in radio talk show host, Mr. New York himself, Mark Simone. Mark, great to have you with us.
Great to be here. Big day, a lot going on. I will not miss Mitch McConnell. I wish him well, but I'll help him pack if he wants.
Yeah, I have to tell you, there's a bit of joy radiating off the horizon for just about every direction, because the man has been recalcitrant. He has been a thorough anti-Trumper. He is anti-America first, and he is, as I said earlier in this broadcast, he has obliged the Biden White House far too often to suit, I think, just any rational human being, let alone patriotic Republican conservatives. So let's go to, what do you think, is there in your mind an obvious successor? There isn't in mine.
Well, a lot of talk about Thune, although he's not the most Trump-friendly guy. It's a long time away. Anything can happen between now and then. One reason McConnell should leave, that border bill was the biggest scam. There was nothing in that bill that can help the border. The fact that he went along with that, the fact that he didn't expose that bill, that's the main reason he should just leave right away. Whatever great career he might have had, that just ruined it for his reputation.
Well, I think the last, what would you say, 7 years have destroyed the man's reputation, because he just simply could not rise above his anger toward President Trump, despite everything President Trump did. A man who I consider to be the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. As a matter of fact, if he can get to this point in re-election and get done half of what he did in his first term, he will be the greatest president in history. Your thoughts?
Well, he's in his worst period right now. Everything is going to go uphill. Downhill for him. He's going to just rise up over the next 6 months. This was obviously all coordinated. 4 trials at once. These are all things from years ago. You go back a year ago, he wasn't on trial for anything. All of a sudden, this was done all at once, clearly coordinated. The good news is the White House went out and recruited some prosecutors, and all they could get were the dumbest prosecutors in America. Obviously, Fani Willis. This Alvin Bragg in New York is just one sorry, dumb prosecutor. The Attorney General in New York, another imbecile. And Jack Smith, there's 2,200 people in Washington perfectly qualified to be the special counsel. They went halfway around the world to get this lunatic and bring him back. He's got a history of political persecution, but he's also got a history of losing in the end. And the McDonald case in Virginia, the Supreme Court unanimously threw it out. And I think you're going to see some great Supreme Court action here on the immunity. It'll take a while, but I think this is looking very bad for Jack Smith.
Yeah, Jack Smith, when you say halfway around the world, a prosecutor in The Hague, in the International Court, as a prosecutor in the specific chamber, it is, to me, unimaginable. Ed Meese, who files a brief with the Supreme Court pointing out that he is absolutely illegitimately the special counsel, that he wasn't appointed by the president as required by the law. And the Supreme Court's going to have to rule on that as well. If they could do that simultaneously with their ruling on the immunity, that would be terrific, because when they rule on that, there is the opportunity to shut all of this down. If the president has immunity, every one of these idiot cases will have to fold, because that immunity would be absolute. And by the way, I think nearly every American thought every president had that immunity, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. The documents case is a good example. They keep explaining how there's no similarity between Trump and Biden. Well, no normal American can see any difference. The only difference is Joe Biden seemed to have more documents, and Trump had them securely locked up. Biden had them strewn all over the house. So immunity is something we believe in. Even if you were going to charge a president, pick something real. These are just the silliest charges.
Yeah, they were scrambling, and they came up with this obviously orchestrated conspiracy to interfere in the election, and they've done a whale of a job because the legal system in this country, the judicial system in this country, to this point, if the Supreme Court does not act and acknowledge the reality, that is that the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has immunity that no president can overcome or diminish. It has to stand, because if they have limited immunity, if they don't have full immunity, there is no way anyone can walk into that Oval Office and be president of the United States. And by the way, the judiciary has that immunity. The Congress and the Senate have that immunity, but somehow suddenly the president of the United States doesn't have that immunity. It's outrageous on its face. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a great legal scholar to understand that reality. It's just, to me, remarkable where we are right now. Give me your thoughts as well about the fact that this president being Donald J. Trump, has gone through 7 contests, has smeared the competition. Nikki Haley is just, one wonders what in the world she thinks she's doing. She was never seriously in federal government. She was only a PR person for the Trump administration at the United Nations. And she goes around acting like she's some sort of big shot with deep thoughts. And I haven't heard an original word from her mouth.
Well, we do have to give her credit. She did accomplish one great thing, and that is wasting donors' money. She's wasted $78 million of these donors' money. One thing about these big donors, they're brilliant at what they do. They've made billions at what they do. But when they get into politics, they don't know what they're doing. They always back the wrong candidate. They always back the Jeb Bush. Whoever they back, they're a great reverse barometer of who's going to lose. Whoever they get behind is definitely going to lose. Nikki Haley, even they're starting to figure out to pull out. I guess her only purpose now for the next week is raise as much more money as she can, because she can keep that in her pack and spend it on a staff, a secretary, a driver, an office, and save it for another run. That's all she's up to now.
Yeah, and you would think that at some point embarrassment would visit her, and she would understand how outright silly she looks. Thanks so much, Mark Simone. We appreciate it. Good to see you, my friend, Mr. New York. And please join us every day on my podcast. Thank you so much, Mark. And please join us every day on my podcast, The Great America Show. It's available at LouDobbs.com and wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all the major platforms, and we'd be delighted to serve you. And for all the folks tuning in from the great state of Florida, Lou Dobbs Tonight will be on the road to Florida. I'll be speaking next Monday night in West Palm Beach at the 47 Club, the largest Trump club in America with over 20,000 members. And next Tuesday evening, I'll be up in Central Florida at the Villages, speaking at the Villagers for Trump, Trump 47. To get tickets for that, you can go to villagersfortrump47.com. Thanks for being with us tonight. Join us here tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. Florida Congressman Greg Steube among our guests, and so will Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry. Please join us, and join us 7 days a week on my podcast, The Great America Show, available at LouDobbs.com. The Lindell Report is coming up next. Mike Lindell is in the house. I'll turn it over to you, Mike. Good night, and God bless.
There's a concerted effort to intimidate and censor conservative thinkers. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are being threatened by the most liberal